So lately, people have been speculating, is he gone? Is he gone? And so much so that the House of White had to put out an image claiming he was doing his favorite activity, golf. And a lot of people were like, that don't look like him. That's either AI or a stand-in. Also, this is for entertainment purposes only. And here's the thing about narcissists. They love to accuse people of things that they are actually doing. And they constantly accused JB of having a body double. So if they accused JB of having a body double, more than likely, Tangerine Man has had a body double. And we also know that the Gops will do anything to keep power. Anything. And there was a video on this app, on the Tickety Talk, going around of a CIA officer talking about wearing silicone masks undercover and her experience of doing it while sitting in the Oval with W, and how he had no idea that she was not the person she was dressed up as. And that was over 20 years ago. So if they could do it then, over 20 years ago, you know the technology is way better now. So it is entirely plausible, given those facts, that he is no longer in his earthly vessel, and the Gops are just trying to hold on to power a little longer and fool us. But here's the thing, they ain't fooling nobody, because people are catching on. And I'll tell you that on August 15th, I had a very, very interesting interaction in the evening. I was on the pendulum talking to my spirit guides when all of a sudden a nonsense word was being spelled, and I knew it was not my spirit guides because they don't talk like that. So I asked who it was. And they spelled the name, the first name of the orange tangerine guy. And I said, oh, like Donald Duck. And then I said, what is your last name? And they spelled Tangerine Man's last name. And I'm like, wait a minute. What is happening here? Am I being punked by like some nefarious spirit? So I asked a bunch of questions, and no, I was not being punked. And I was like, is this just like that person's higher self that's come to me? No. And I said, okay. Is your soul in your vessel? No. I recorded this whole interaction on voice memo with my sister because we were doing it together, and at some point in the future I will share it. I'm just not ready to do that because it still feels like absolutely wild. But if everyone's speculating that Tangerine is gone, I think it's been for a couple of weeks. I'm just saying. It could have been his lower self that came to me, which, if that's the case, then he was very close to the end, regardless, and probably is now gone. So that's interesting. Yeah, it's not typical for spirits to just hijack a pendulum like that unless they're like very close to the end and just need to really talk to somebody, or they are gone altogether. And the things that Tangerine's soul said would indicate that he was gone. So I think it's been for at least 2 weeks more. Well, today's the 31st, and that interaction was on August 15th, so you do the math. And yeah. It just seems wild to like even speculate that that's even a possibility. But I mean, we know facts about what the CIA was able to do 20 plus years ago. So I guess there's that. Makes it a little bit more plausible. And with AI being able to mimic voices, because he had that phone call on the Friends of Foxes where he said some really, really weird things. And when he said that, I was like, was that really him? Because he's saying some things that are very similar to the conversation my sister and I had on the 15th with his soul. I'm very confused. I'm sure you are too. And time will tell. Will they be honest with the date? Probably not. Because they are some shady MFers. They're shady. So they probably won't ever be honest. But I think they're just trying to like keep pushing more and more. And I think too, all of like the different things that have happened over the past 2 weeks that are clear deflections, it's not just a distraction from those files. I think it's a distraction also from the fact that he ain't here no more. So, but time will tell. Time will tell. So, yeah. I hope you continue having a wonderful Labor Day weekend. And remember the reason for Labor Day. It's the labor unions. So, peace be with you.